Welcome to our Devos this week. Thank you for joining us as we are continuing to examine the early life of Jesus. Not a lot written about it, but there are some great benefits that we could have of studying the little bit that is written that God did choose that we know. Now, most of what is quoted about Jesus' early life has a center on one passage of Scripture, Luke chapter 2, verse 52. And it says here, Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. It says that Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature. And stature is what we're going to look at. And what I want you to get from that and what we want to kind of glean from that is that you must keep maturing. You have to keep maturing. That's what that means. It's just increasing in stature just literally means developing or growing. So I want you to realize that you should be looking at your life. A good way to look at your life is in chunks of 2 to 5 years. A lot of people go, well, this year has been a wash, and 2020 was tough, and 2021 is like we're heading into the final couple quarters here of 2021, which is hard to believe as we're filming this. Like this is now we're heading into August, and it's unbelievable to imagine that this year is heading into fall already. But here we are. And what a lot of people do is they kind of get down on themselves and they say, I didn't really accomplish the things I wanted to do. I didn't, lose all the weight that I wanted. I didn't get the financial goals met and you start to down yourself. You start to get super negative. Well, I want to encourage you to this. I want you to start to look back at yourself like in a 5-year span or a 2-year span and go, okay, am I closer to God than I was 2 years ago? Am I deeper in my faith than I was 2 years ago? Am I getting closer to my goals than I was 5 years ago? What about, 6 years ago? You have to start to look at your life in sections and ask yourself if anything's changing. Okay? Now, this sounds like a dumb exercise, but if things aren't changing at the pace that you want them to be, what I want you to do is I want you to start to say, okay, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Like, what do I want my life to look like? Give yourself some goals, but make the goals your North Star, not your cemented finish line. Because what happens with goals is goals tend to discourage us more than encouraging us. Some of you, you're goal-oriented, you're type A, you're goal-driven, that's fine, and you might be that way, but if goals are discouraging you, I want you to put the goal out there as what you're reaching for, but give yourself the grace to say, okay, I have to course correct here and figure out how to do it. If learning about God and knowing God more is your goal, which it should be most people's goals, what can you do differently? How can you be challenged differently? Have you ever gone through a Bible? Pastor Ron just shared one of these a while ago. A Bible reading plan where the Bible is read systematically, chronologically. Have you ever done that? Have you ever got into one of our growth groups or Rooted or Starting Point, any of our programs that help you connect to other people? Have you ever done that? You should try it. Because Jesus kept growing, he kept developing, he kept maturing. And I want to encourage you not to be comfortable where you are. There should be something called a holy discontentment in you. That you should be striving to serve God more and striving to see God work in different ways in your life by how much you know of him and how much more of your life reflects the calling that he's placed on you. So continue to mature, continue to grow, continue to lean on Jesus as he allows you to cut your path forward.